Welcome back on the channel, guys. It's time to return to match reactions. It's been almost a month since we've done the one, but it's time Inter return today in the first pre-match of the season against the under-23s, and they won 7-2. Good start to the preseason. Usually it's against Lugano, so I'm surprised. Maybe because Lugano and the Swiss League, because we have the Club World Cup, maybe the timings didn't quite work out. But under-23s gave Inter a good test. Some good moments, some bad moments, some good individual moments. We'll get into all of that. But before we get into it, you know what to do. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, I am here for pretty much every single match preview before every game and post-match after every game, whether it's live, whether it's a day or two after, always here. And of course, transfer news, anything related to our beloved Inter and Serie A. But anyway, let's get into today's game. Both teams lined up with the 3-5-2. And I must say, to the under-23s and Stefano Vecchi, the coach of the under-23s, nice work. They looked pretty organized. They looked already, this is a brand new team, by the way. It did not look like it was a brand new team. They looked pretty nicely set up on the pitch. And I hope they do well in Serie C next season, this upcoming season. But anyway, let's get into these highlights from today's game on a nice summer day. It started off with a great opportunity for Augusto on his right foot, poorly missed. Mosconi, actually, I missed this chance at the beginning because I missed the first few minutes, but great save from Zoma there. And the under-23s went 1-0 up ahead thanks to this goal from Spinacci. Defensively, we struggled today, but, I'm not going to judge too much early on with this Inter team. Of course, this is the first pre-game of the season, and oh my God, Kamate here. This is like a reminiscent of a Kondogbia own goal, but Bastoni. But this shows kind of Inter what on the Kivu he's trying to do. Look how where Bastoni is literally on the edge of the opposing team's box to press Kamate, who is one of the strikers, who was playing as a striker for the. Actually, I don't know. Was it Kamate or was it Mosconi who was playing as like the right forward? But anyway, shows you the high press that Kivu wanted. We saw it today. Look where Lautaro is. Look where that Sucic, but bloody hell, look at it. This is Aslani, the CDM. Kivu said he wants a higher pressing Inter, and definitely we saw it today. But we also see some downsides that Inter conceded a lot of space in behind and a lot of chances to this under-23 team. But of course, we are at literally match day one. But yeah, embarrassing moment for Kamate, who actually had a pretty much of a stinker the whole game. Probably worst player on the pitch, Kamate. And here it is, Joan Boni's first goal. Kind of lucky. Scuffs his shot initially from Lautaro's lovely pass and then gets lucky on the rebound. But that's a great way to start his preseason with a goal. And later on, he wins a penalty as well. Denzel with a chance, good save from the goalkeeper. Mkhitaryan to Lautaro, who scuffs his shot. Lautaro looks slightly, still needs a few more weeks to get back into top shape. And mistake from Dumfries, gifting a goal to Cecconi. Complete brain fart moment from Denzel there. Again, I'm not going to analyze this or look into this. It's first game of preseason. Any game of preseason, I'm not going to really criticize the players. And here we see, look at Bonny, look at those strides. Mini Marcus Thuram, remember, guys? Oh, and wins the penalty just like Thuram has won us many over the last 2 seasons. Aslani steps up. I mean, what do you guys make of Aslani still starting for this in the team? Even though Auxilio said Aslani needs to find himself a team. We know he's for sale. We know we need to make space in that midfield because we've got a lot of midfielders. Today, Zielinski and Fratesi are not even there. They're not even part of the squad at the moment because of injury. And we still have so many midfielders. But Aslani steps up nicely to score. He wasn't too impressive today, Aslani. I heard Kivu telling him, like, pass forward, avanti, Chris. Yeah, lovely assist here by Sucic, lovely touch by Lautaro, and lovely finish with his left foot. Capitano gets off underway in his season. Fantastic goal all round. Love to see it. And then Di Marco to Pio Esposito. Is this going to be something that we see in here a lot this season? Di Marco to Pio, Dimash to Pio. 2 Inter youth products, of course, 2 Primavera products. And Pio, by the way, guys, aside of the goal, If you haven't seen it, I posted a compilation of his performance and Bonny's performance. But Pio, I have not seen Inter Primavera products slot in like this in a long time. Di Marco doesn't even count because Di Marco, by the time Di Marco came back, he was 24, 25 years old. By the time this guy is already coming in, Club World Cup now in this preseason. He just looks like a first team player. Like when I see Pio out there, obviously I know because it's Pio that he's a youth product. But when if there was no name attached to Pio, he would just look like a 28-year-old bomber, like an old school striker who's just part of this team. He just looks so at ease with himself, which is, I think, the biggest compliment you can pay to a young player. Always a threat. The ball is always sticking to him. I'm very, very impressed with Pio. I want to see a lot of minutes from him this season. I think he deserves it. And Luis Henrique with the goal. What a rocket. And I think he deserved it and needed it because the fan base was he was definitely, I think, the signing that at the moment has the biggest doubts. Bonny has probably the most to prove in terms of, he needs to add goals to his game. But Luis Henrique has the Daubert tag on him already. But what a goal there, cutting in on his right foot. And in general, I think he had a positive performance, Luis Henrique. You saw what he can add. Here, Di Marco crossing to Thuram, who looked better as well than he has done over the last, 5-6 months. But he definitely should score there. We know Marcus Thuram, if he doesn't score these types of goals, there's a hungry guy like Bonny there, ready to take his spot if he's not careful. Agbonifo for the under-23s also looks pretty impressive. The new guy that we signed, he had a good volley there. Thomas Palacios almost scored. That would have been nice to just give him a little boost of confidence. But again, another guy similar to Aslani, we know is probably not going to be part of this squad for this upcoming season. Esposito again causing all sorts of havoc, laying it off to Hakan. And of course, Hakan, one of our only few players that has this ability to shoot from outside the box. There was a massive chance there they haven't included here from Barella, who did like a coast to coast. He started off at the edge of our box into theirs. And for some reason, instead of just, hitting it, try to like hit it low across the keeper, he just tries to lob it. I want to see more goals from Barella this season. And I think we saw today, and it's too early to tell in it's preseason, but it seemed like we were more intent on trying to shoot. As soon as we got to the edge of the box, we saw Hakan scoring there, but we saw Enrique scoring. But even outside of that, it seemed like we were more intent on at least trying to shoot from outside the box, which is something else that, Kivo did say that he wants this Inter team to be more vertical, more direct. Not necessarily, I don't remember him saying anything about shooting from outside the box, but I feel like we seem to be a bit more, today anyway, we seem to be a bit more happy to pull the trigger. And with guys like Hakan, Sucic, Barella, Zielinski, if he stays, Frattesi, all these guys have a shot on them. But yeah, overall, not much to report on. Just, a few things, as I said. Let's see how this high line, high press works. Definitely, we saw it under Inzaghi. It's not like this is something new that he was trying, but it seems like he wants to take it up a notch. But do we have the centre backs? Do we have the defenders, the team to do this type of press? I'm not really too sure. It hasn't worked out that well for us in the past, even when Conte tried to do it at the beginning. Of course, a lot of the times this Inter team will be pressing high, but how high and how well, that is up to Kivu and the coaching staff to get, work out the kinks on that. Anything positive? I like Pavard. Pavard looked a little bit more, attentive, and he looked a bit more, obviously everyone looked a bit more fresh. Who else looked good? Sucic was okay. Barella looked good when he came on. Mickey looked good in the first half, mostly. Bonny, as I said, of course. Thuram looked a bit better. Lautaro was up and down, and Pio Esposito looked great. On the other 23s, you guys let me know. Kamate, as I said, he was definitely the worst. Cocky, I liked some of his Cocky's touches. He reminds me of Di Marco, actually. Lovely left foot. Agbonifo, as I said, when he came on, he was interesting. Berenbrook, they didn't get to have too much of the ball, the under 23s, but he was okay a few times. Receconi, I think, had a good game, but then he gave away that penalty on Bonny. Spinache battled up front and got his goal, but no one really standing out too much for the under-23s. But overall, as I said, good team effort from them. And we're definitely going to have bigger tests coming soon, better teams. And of course, this Inter team is going to take it up a notch in terms of their preparation, the fuel they need to put into their legs. So they're going to get, today they look quite fresh, the players, but they're going to start looking heavier in the next few games. So already prepared for that. Don't start, pissing and moaning already if Inter are not looking good in preseason, especially now. We're only going to have these, 4 games really before we start officially. So it's very, very short preseason compared to usual and compared to other teams like Napoli, Milan, who have had full-length preseasons. It's only us and Juve really in Italy that had these shorter preseasons. But anyway, who was your man of the match? Probably I'll give it to Bonny for, debut and confidence, but I did really like the way Piers Posito came into the game as well. Let me know your thoughts down below. Ciao ragazzi, always Forza Inter and the under-23s.